American Pickers is a reality series that follows two collectors and pickers, Frank Fritz and Mike Wolfe, who travel across the U.S. to pick various items to resell for their clients or for their personal collection. The show premiered in January 2010 on History Channel and has run for 22 seasons, achieving success in high rankings and an enormous fan base across the globe. If you ever came across the show, which houses a slightly different format to Pawn Stars, you would know that Frank and Mike get on like a house on fire. Then, to everyone's shock, in July 2021, History Channel announced that Frank Fritz exited the show, which spawned various theories and rumors. So what actually happened between the magic-picking duo? Frank Fritz was born on the 11th of October 1963 in Davenport, Iowa, USA. He is a private collector, businessman, and reality TV star who gained international fame primarily starring in American Pickers and some other History Channel projects. When Frank was still a child, his father left him and his mother for another woman, and in 1974, his mother married Richard Dick Zerbis. His mother worked at a construction company while Richard was a tire salesman. Frank developed an interest in collecting random objects from an early age, such as beer cans, rocks, and stamps, among many others. He attended Sudlow Intermediate School, where he met Mike Wolfe, who shared the same hobby of collecting things. Frank matriculated in 1982 from Bettendorf High School and chose not to pursue an academic career. Having developed a strong interest in motorcycles, he began collecting small dirt and street bikes. During his teenage years, Frank worked at the Quad City Automatic Sprinkler and Coast to Coast Hardware to acquire a Harley-Davidson motorcycle that reportedly cost over $4,000. Even though his passion for collecting always persisted within him, he never thought of it as a career and worked most of his life as a fire inspector before becoming a celebrity. Given the nature of his job, Frank covered numerous areas in Iowa, visiting places to collect items such as firefighting objects and trinkets. One exciting story was that he found a piece which he bought for $15 and sold for $460, which got him thinking about launching a business. In 2002, Frank left his job and founded the antique collection shop entitled Frank's Finds in Savannah, Illinois. Searching for interesting items and antiques, he began traveling the U.S. repairing and restoring items and selling them in his shop. Mike Wolfe is an entrepreneur, collector, and TV reality star who rose to stardom by starring in the series American Pickers. He was born on the 11th of June, 1965 in Joliet, Illinois, USA. Mike grew up without a father, raised alongside his two siblings, Robbie and Beth, by their single mother, Rita Wolfe. When he was 6, Mike began collecting items which interested him, exploring locations where he could find something that piqued his interest. One of the first things he picked was an old bicycle which he found in his neighbor's trash can. After cleaning it and slightly restoring it, Mike managed to sell it to a friend, marking his first successful bargain. Whether it was beginner's luck or Mike's instilled ability for discerning and recognizing a potential profit, it inspired him to continue looking for exciting pieces and other opportunities to cash out. Like his friend Frank, Mike also didn't continue his education after matriculating from high school and focused on his career. Before becoming a well-recognized picker, Mike explored various avenues and prospects, including becoming a competitive bicycle racer and owner of 2 bike shops in the 1990s, but has since spent over 20 years traveling in his cargo van, traversing the country, searching for extraordinary items and finds. Over time, he opened up 2 shops, Antique Archaeology in LeClaire, Iowa, and in Nashville, Tennessee. Since becoming a celebrity, Mike has joined numerous other projects and dipped his toe in other avenues, including philanthropy, music, and literature. As mentioned, Frank and Mike were friends from middle school and remained on good terms during their high school days. Before making his debut on American Pickers, Frank initially attracted media exposure by appearing in another top-rated History Channel reality series, Pawn Stars, as an expert on vintage items, those members to assess an item and provide information about it. As their business grew and their network of potential partners and clients, the two were able to work with other collectors, and eventually Frank and Mike teamed up and began exploring, acquiring, and selling. They also found Danielle Colby, who became their shop manager, also discovering potential clients and locations for their picking. So Mike, who had been investing in picking for nearly 2 decades, had the idea of a show which would follow him and Frank on their road trips as they ransacked crumbling sheds, dilapidated warehouses, and old barns. Mike tried to pitch the idea to a TV network for 5 years before History Channel decided to invest in their concept and pick it up. Mike is credited as the show's creator, executive producer, and co-host. After the show premiered, it became an instant hit, reeling in more than 3.7 million viewers for its first episode, one of the highest-ranking debuts on History Channel. The success continued to follow the series, which only grew in popularity over the years, and allowed the two to expand their businesses and become international stars. The best testament to the show's popularity is the fact that it had run for 22 seasons. When the 21st season of the show premiered, it seemed that everything was in order as the duo continued working their magic, finding and selling pieces. However, as the season progressed, it became apparent that Frank was turning into a sporadic presence on the show rather than a co-host. Frank was last seen in the 13th episode entitled Burlesque Queen, which premiered in March 2020. When the next episode premiered, Ghost of the West, fans were confused as its opening credits didn't display Frank's name. Furthermore, there was no mention of Frank or why he was not in the episode, which spurred controversy and rumors. After several episodes, it was revealed that Frank was in back surgery, but that didn't satisfy the fans, who continued wondering whether Frank would reappear on the show. Talking to the media outlet The Sun, Frank said, "I would like to come back to the show, but we will see. I'm 100% recovered now, and I'm ready to roll and get back to the show." However, he revealed that the production staff was very vague regarding his comeback to the show. Frank said, "The showrunner called me on my birthday on October 11th of last year and said, 'I'll call you back tomorrow,' but I haven't heard from those people at all. They don't contact me. I want to go back on the show, but it depends on the network." When Frank initially disappeared from the show, he enumerated several reasons why it happened. One of those was his back surgery, in which the doctors inserted metal rods into his spine, and he obviously needed a lot of time to recover from it. Frank also talked about the obstacles they encountered during the global pandemic, how it altered their plans, and his performance. Given that Frank also has a chronic inflammatory bowel problem entitled Crohn's disease, it meant that in the case of him contracting corona, he might have had worse outcomes due to some prescription drugs for Crohn's, which are said to lower the immune system. So, as the world of TV production was slowly being shut down, it posed even more risk for Frank, for whom wandering around the U.S. and getting into contact with many people was not a good idea. After his interview, it was announced that Frank was officially departing from the show. Following the announcement, fans began speculating that the two might have had a fallout, which ultimately pushed Frank away, while others claimed that the production gave Frank the red light. The suspected feud between the two hosts was confirmed in July 2021, when Frank gave an interview to The Sun and revealed the behind-the-scenes moment, saying, "I didn't leave the show. I finished shooting, then I had a little back surgery, and the pandemic came. I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years. He knew my back was messed up, but he didn't call me up and ask how I was doing. That's just how it is." He then talked about the show's focus, which was Mike. Frank revealed, "The show is tilted towards him 1000%. I can't even bend that far down to show you how much. It's like you've got Aerosmith, and then there's Steven Tyler, and he's the frontman. I found my spot, I'm second, and he's number 1. That's no problem with me. Maybe he does have a problem." There were some rumors that Mike wanted to replace Frank with his own brother, Robbie, and in January 2022, these rumors turned out to be accurate, as history announced that Robbie would step in and replace Frank as a co-host. Given that the news of their departure and potential feud became very prevalent in the media, Mike decided to share his side of the story on Instagram, writing, "I have known Frank for as long as I can remember. He's been like a brother to me. We're here not only to take care of the past, but also each other. I will miss Frank just like all of you, and I pray for the very best and all good things for him on the next part of his journey." Danielle also addressed the rumors and Frank's departure on Instagram by saying that she had been sad over Frank's loss to the show and his struggles, which she had witnessed in the 12 years of working with him. She continued, "Frank caused so much pain for himself that it has been hard to watch. I truly hope Frank receives all the help he needs to become well after years of being unwell. It is not my place to speak ill of someone who needs help, so I will keep my comments uplifting. I'm sending love to everyone." However, after seeing Mike's Instagram post, to say that Frank was furious would be an understatement. He responded, "Mike's statement was bull. Somebody wrote it out for him. We never were friends in grade school. I don't believe in 10 years he said 5 nice things to me, you know? Unless he was cutting someone else down, we were both laughing. While Frank placed all the blame on Mike, fans and some media outlets pointed out that Frank's personal struggles impacted his American Pickers exit, which Danielle implied in her Instagram post. Frank has a history of alcohol abuse issues and has been very vocal about it, so some fans believe it might have contributed to his feud with Mike and the production. In his interview with The Sun, he admitted entering the Abbey Center in Bettendorf, Iowa, to seek treatment for alcohol abuse. Furthermore, Frank opened up about the history of alcohol abuse in his family, revealing that his mother and grandfather had been alcoholics. After spending 77 days at the center, he continued going to meetings and shared, "I don't think I'll ever have a drink again because I don't like the feeling anymore, and some of the dumb things that I did." Unfortunately, that was not the only problem Frank encountered. He also shared details about his relationship, which pushed him over the edge. After planning life with his fiancée Diane Bankson and buying an expensive house, Frank learned that his fiancée had been seeing another man for over 2 years. He was so hurt and devastated that he even got a tattoo that said, "Once a cheater, always a cheater." Besides the emotional pain, Frank said that she had cost him 6 figures, and he later struggled to pay taxes on several of his estates. On the other hand, Diane also clapped back at Frank, accusing him of adultery, saying, "It's not true what he's saying. If he's trying to make me look like a bad person, of course I'm going to say it's not true because it's not. The bottom line is that I know the truth, and that's all that matters. He's playing the victim, and it's not true. I wasn't cheating on him at all." Since he's exited the series, he's lost over 60 pounds, almost 30 kilograms, and is unrecognizable. He revealed that after successfully getting onto the right path, he began exercising and taking care of his diet, as he wanted to keep the Crohn's disease under control. Is this the end of the story of Mike and Frank? Sadly, there doesn't seem to be a way back, either in the relationship or the TV series. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.